We just left a marina that we stayed at while we were up in the Miami boat show, helping out at the Battleborn Batteries booth. And now we are making our way to Boot Key Harbor. We finally made it from spot 39 on the list to actually having a mooring ball, and it lined up just perfectly. So we're super excited.
This is our boat now.
Oh my God.
What did it take, like 2.5 weeks to get a ball?
Yeah, at least that.
Yeah. So we've been here for about that long, anchored most of the time. We were only in the marina for a couple nights to go up to the Miami boat show. It worked out pretty well because basically we're able to go right from the marina to the ball, which is really nice. We don't have to go anchor right now. And now that we're getting a ball, we're gonna be able to drive up to Tampa. We have a life raft waiting for us, and we have an electric motor for our dinghy waiting for us. So, and that and some other stuff. We want to get like fishing stuff and just things that are in Tampa that really aren't in the Keys. We're excited. We're gonna be on a mooring in Marathon for about a month, and then we will try to head to the Bahamas. We're currently fighting a current, as you can see, about a 1 knot current, and we're fighting about 10 to 15 knot wind, and we're still going 2.3 knots, and we're not burning too much power right now. Good, we're done. Alrighty, so Randy did a good job catching the mooring ball. I did a good job at the helm.
Yes, you made it nice and slow, so it was really easy at like 3/10 of a knot to catch it.
Yeah, so now we just got to kind of fix, you know, everything here. We're attached, but we're gonna kind of make a bridle and get us closer to the mooring ball so we don't swing as much in other boats and everything. But let's take a look at the harbor.
It's nice. We're finally in here. It's interesting. We've never been in a mooring field like this. Like, we've moored at reefs, but that's like 10 boats max. This is pretty crazy. It's gonna be interesting. Gotta get a little comfortable. And there's anchored boats right over there that make me a little bit nervous because they look like they may be abandoned. But we will be here for a few days before we have to head to Tampa so we can get comfortable with the situation and assess that everything is good.
Now we just gotta paddle to shore.
Yeah. Luckily we're close. It's right there.
We are going right over there, just past these boats over there. Alrighty guys, so we're going out this morning and we're going to be doing some lobstering hopefully. So hopefully we'll actually bring back some lobster for the first time since we've been here. But we're going through Sister Creek right now. We've got our brand new electric motor propelling us there and it's doing pretty good. We're going about 2 knots. We're using like the economical setting on the motor. This basically we can go at 2 knots for like 9 hours or something crazy like that. So we're just going nice and slow because we're only going about a mile anyway. We're going through an interesting area right now. We're lining up with these radio towers here that were actually designed for propaganda. They're very, very strong radio waves and we just went through them and we were curious to see if anything would happen to the motor. And
all good.
All good, nothing weird. But people have definitely seen weird things happening to them when they anchor. As you can see, there's some anchored boats behind me back there. When they anchor in line with the towers, people have reported their lights turning on when they're disconnected to the batteries. They've reported their backstay burning their halyards because they get so hot. So there's just a lot of RF interference in this area, and it's kind of interesting. But obviously, we're not staying here.
No.
You know, we're just passing through it. So I didn't think there was really going to be an issue, but we might have some issues if we were to stay in line with the towers. But I think we're good. So it's a beautiful area though, and it's a beautiful day. We're going to be out to Sombrero Beach pretty soon, and then West Sister Rock. There's Sombrero Beach right there. And where we're going, it's right there. All right, so a little recap of the dive. It is really choppy. I don't know if you guys can tell, but super, super choppy. The visibility is horrible. You guys just saw how bad it was. Probably 4-foot visibility, barely see anything. The good thing is there are rocks out here, and that's important for lobster. So I do think there are lobster out here. It's just, we gotta wait for a calmer day and a better visibility day to come out and grab some. This was kind of just like a scouting trip. So. But we know where to go now. It looks like there's some good rocks here, and yeah, it should be calm. Actually,
Tomorrow.
Well, not tomorrow. We're probably gonna be editing.
Yeah.
But it should be calm the next like 3 or 4 days. So on a nice calm day, good visibility, come out here hopefully and be able to grab some lobster. Alrighty, what have we got going on here, Randy?
Well, we have made friends with a spearfisher in the harbor who's a lot better than us. He goes by Adventureman Dan, and he actually speared a yellow jack for us. So I am going to go ahead and make some sushi rolls. We have a ton of meat. It was a rather large yellow jack that he was able to spear for us. And I'm going to go ahead and start making some sushi rice.
This is currently pretty much the sole way we've been cooking all our food. It's just a little induction cooktop single burner from IKEA, and it's about 1,000 watts, and it runs off our inverter. We have a 3,000 watt inverter, so it runs perfectly fine. This is probably about, I don't know,
3 pounds?
3 or 4 pounds of meat, maybe more. And we did freeze it for about a week and a half before we're going to eat it. We are going to eat it raw.
Now, the Adventureman Dan who caught this fish for us actually will eat this fish right off the bat. I think we gotta work ourselves into that mentality. I know for sure, like, it's perfectly fine if you get tuna to eat it right away, but that's the only fish that I've heard that's true for because of risk of parasites and things like that. If you know yellowjack, for sure we're good to go eating it right away. Let us know, because that would make things a lot easier. We don't have that much freezer space. That pretty much took up our entire freezer, so it would be a lot easier if we didn't have to freeze it.
I am over here in my little corner editing as usual, and I'm looking forward to having sushi tonight. Now, one thing I wanted to mention is that this is a disclaimer. We're going to be eating raw fish here. Now, if you go out and eat raw fish and get sick, it's not our fault. Eat raw fish at your own risk.
So the way I make sushi rice is I use about 1.5 cups of uncooked sushi rice, 2 cups of water, start it off at a boil, and then just let it simmer for about 10 minutes. It's normally done. I check it frequently just because I haven't quite got the timing right yet. But then once the rice is done, you move it into something that's not metal. Supposedly the rice vinegar and metal don't react well. It changes the taste. So I put it into this container, and I put a 1/4 cup of rice vinegar with a tablespoon of sugar and a teaspoon of salt, and I kind of dissolved the vinegar, sugar, and salt mixture first, and then I put the rice into that mixture and stir it around so it becomes like that sticky rice I've heard people call it for sushi. Ideally with sushi rice, before you make the rolls, it's room temperature. Not refrigerated, but just room temperature. So you gotta let it cool for quite a while.
Alrighty, so we've got everything set up on the table, everything ready to make sushi rolls. And that is the raw yellow jack right there. We certainly have a lot more than that, and we're going to be eating it, you know, tomorrow as well, and possibly the next day.
Alright, so I got enough to make a roll. I'm going to put a little scallion on there. Personal preference, obviously. I'm going to do a little cucumber. And some marinated carrot. And I'm going to put some sesame seeds in there as well. Alright, I tend to make my rolls probably a little too large. But, oh, and my hands aren't wet, which I normally do this with sink access. It's alright. Make it work.
It's the first time we made sushi on a boat, so.
Yeah. So normally I would wet my hand and kind of seal this up. Probably should do, oh, I actually have a cup of water here. Pardon my fingers in my own cup of water. Alright, so seal that up a little bit. And most people use a bamboo mat, but I've never really found the need to do that. So I tend to skip that. And then I normally cut in half first. Sushi roll. And cut my pieces from there. This obviously wasn't, we used to have a knife for this that was a lot better. But you get the idea. So you got sushi pieces, and then I've got spicy mayonnaise, I've got ponzu sauce, and or not ponzu sauce, eel sauce, and soy sauce. So you kind of have your choice of toppings there as well. I'm going to go for the eel sauce. Well, let's see how it is.
Pretty good?
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Alright, now we're not sushi chefs at all, guys, but this is just what we do for our personal consumption.
Like it?
Yeah, it's good.
Good.
It's really good. Alright, well, I don't think you need to watch us eat anymore.
No.
So I think we're just going to finish out this episode.
Yeah, as always, guys, if you enjoyed this episode, go ahead and leave it a like and a comment down below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to follow along with our journey. And if you want to know each and every time we upload a video, make sure you hit that little notification bell.
See you guys.
Bye.
I've got it right and I got it wrong, but I learned my lesson hanging on. Come sit here with me by the fire.